They never tell you this when you buy a car. Modern vehicles are intentionally restricted, quietly holding back nearly 30% of their real performance. Last month, I watched someone throw away $900 on repairs that a forbidden 45-second tweak could have completely avoided. Welcome to CarCulture-X. After 20 years of watching the automotive industry hide performance behind regulations while dealerships empty wallets, I'm done staying silent. What follows are 15 underground techniques the industry hopes you never hear about, banned in some places, ignored in others, and capable of delivering instant, noticeable results. Trick number 15. The fuel pressure. Adjustment secret factory. Fuel pressure sits conservatively low to meet longevity standards and emission targets. By adjusting the fuel pressure regulator just 3 psi higher than specification, you create denser fuel atomization. This means better combustion efficiency, sharper throttle response, and noticeable mid-range torque improvements. The procedure takes 10 minutes with a basic fuel pressure gauge. Locate your fuel pressure regulator on the fuel rail. With the engine running, adjust the vacuum line or adjustment screw incrementally while monitoring pressure. Small changes create dramatic differences. I tested this on a customer's Accord that felt sluggish off the line. After bumping pressure from 40 psi to 43 psi, acceleration became crisp, throttle lag vanished, and highway passing power improved noticeably. The legality issue stems from emissions compliance since higher fuel pressure alters air-fuel mixture beyond EPA-certified parameters. Trick number 14. The ignition timing. Advanced method. Modern engines use sophisticated timing maps that prioritize emissions over performance. Advancing ignition timing by just 2 to 4 degrees creates immediate power gains. The spark occurs slightly earlier in the compression stroke, allowing more complete combustion and extracting additional energy from each fuel charge. This modification requires accessing your distributor or using a timing light on older vehicles. For newer electronic systems, aftermarket timing controllers plug into the crankshaft position sensor and shift timing advance electronically. A customer brought in a Nissan that felt gutless despite fresh maintenance. I advanced timing by 3 degrees. Throttle response sharpened dramatically, and the engine pulled harder throughout the power band. His exact words were, "It feels like I gained 20 horsepower." The danger lies in going too far. Excessive timing advance causes detonation that destroys pistons rapidly. Trick number 13. The air filter restriction. Bypass. Your factory air filter prioritizes longevity over airflow, choking your engine of oxygen. High-performance shops bypass this by installing oil-coated foam filters or eliminating the filter housing altogether, dramatically increasing airflow volume. Remove your factory air filter and housing. Install a high-flow conical filter directly onto the mass airflow sensor or throttle body. This eliminates restrictive factory ducting and opens airflow pathways completely. I performed this modification on a Mustang GT last month. The owner reported immediate throttle response improvements, and dyno testing confirmed an 8 horsepower gain at the wheels purely from improved breathing. The controversy centers on filtration effectiveness and oil-contaminating mass airflow sensors. Legal problems arise because removing emission control components violates federal regulations. Trick number 12. The exhaust restriction modification factory. Exhaust systems prioritize silence over performance. Your exhaust gases travel through multiple restrictive components, creating back pressure that fights your engine's exhaust stroke. Removing these restrictions allows gases to exit freely, reducing pumping losses and freeing wasted horsepower. Complete exhaust system replacement with straight pipes eliminates every restrictive element from headers to tailpipe. The result is maximum flow and dramatic power gains, particularly at high RPM. A customer's turbocharged WRX gained 23 horsepower after straight pipe installation. Turbo spool became noticeably faster, boost pressure climbed higher, and throttle response sharpened throughout the rev range. The downsides are significant. Loud exhaust notes that violate noise ordinances and visual evidence during inspections. Federal law explicitly prohibits removing catalytic converters with fines reaching $2,500 per violation. Trick number 11. The boost. Pressure override. Turbocharged engines regulate boost pressure conservatively for reliability and emissions. Professional tuners bypass these limitations by adjusting wastegate duty cycle or modifying boost control solenoids. Increasing boost pressure by just 2 to 3 psi creates substantial power gains, often exceeding 30 to 50 additional horsepower. Some vehicles require simple boost controller installation that intercepts signals between the ECU and wastegate actuator. Others need ECU reprogramming to modify boost target tables directly. I worked on a customer's Golf GTI running factory boost around 18 psi. After installing an adjustable boost controller and raising pressure to 21 psi, the car transformed completely. Dyno results showed 47 additional horsepower. The risk involves engine longevity since higher boost increases cylinder pressure and thermal stress. Boost modifications violate federal regulations comprehensively. Trick number 10. The governor speed limiter. Removal. Most vehicles include electronic speed limiters cutting fuel at predetermined speeds between 112 and 155 miles per hour. Your engine is mechanically capable of much higher speeds. The electronic limiter artificially restricts this capability. Execution requires ECU reprogramming or installing aftermarket modules that intercept speed signals. Professional tuning software can eliminate speed limiters completely during custom calibration sessions. A customer brought me a Charger RT that hit the 118 miles per hour limiter during track days. After ECU reprogramming, the car reached 142 miles per hour effortlessly. The mechanical drivetrain handled increased speed without issue. The danger is obvious. Removing limiters enables operation beyond tire ratings and safety margins. Federal safety standards require limiters for tire rating compliance, making removal illegal. Trick number 9. The nitrous oxide injection system. Nitrous oxide provides instant dramatic power increases by injecting compressed oxygen-rich gas into the intake stream. The additional oxygen allows burning significantly more fuel, creating explosive power gains exceeding 50 to 150 horsepower with a button push. Installation involves mounting nitrous bottles in the trunk, running feed lines to solenoids near the intake, and connecting activation switches. Wet systems inject both nitrous and fuel simultaneously. I installed a 75 horsepower wet nitrous kit on a customer's Camaro SS. Activating nitrous created tire shredding acceleration that dropped quarter-mile times by nearly a full second. The risks are substantial. Incorrect tuning causes catastrophic piston failure. Nitrous systems violate emission standards, and many states classify them as prohibited street modifications. Trick number 8. The variable valve. Timing override. Modern engines use variable valve timing that prioritizes fuel economy at lower RPMs. Performance enthusiasts reprogram these systems for maximum power delivery. By forcing more aggressive valve timing across all RPM ranges, engines breathe more efficiently and generate significantly more power. Execution requires ECU reprogramming access. Professional tuning software allows modifying valve timing maps directly, advancing camshaft position beyond factory limits. A customer's Honda S2000 gained remarkable mid-range torque after VVT reprogramming. The engine pulled harder from 3,000 RPM upward, eliminating peaky power delivery. Dyno results showed 18 additional horsepower with smoother power delivery. The danger involves potential valve-to-piston contact at extreme settings. Any modification constitutes illegal tampering under Clean Air Act provisions. Trick number 7. The intercooler spray system. Turbocharged engines generate significant heat during compression. Water methanol injection systems spray atomized fluid onto intercooler cores, dramatically reducing intake temperatures. Cooler air allows more aggressive tuning and higher boost levels safely. Installation involves mounting fluid reservoirs, installing spray nozzles, and connecting activation controllers. Systems activate automatically under boost, spraying proportional amounts based on pressure levels. I installed a water methanol system on a customer's turbocharged Subaru, Intake temperatures dropped from 180 degrees under boost to 120 degrees with the system active. This allowed increasing boost pressure safely, resulting in 35 additional horsepower without risking detonation. The maintenance requirement involves refilling fluid reservoirs regularly. Running dry during boost can cause immediate engine damage. Trick number 6. The camshaft swap modification factory. Camshafts prioritize broad power band characteristics and emission compliance. Performance camshafts sacrifice low-end smoothness for substantial high RPM power gains. Installing aggressive aftermarket camshafts transforms engine character completely with increased valve lift and duration, allowing dramatically improved airflow. Execution requires substantial mechanical work. Cylinder heads must be removed, timing components disassembled, and new camshafts installed with precise timing alignment. A customer's Civic Si gained 48 horsepower after camshaft installation. The engine became highly responsive at high RPMs, delivering fierce acceleration above 5,000 RPM. The trade-off was rougher idle and reduced low-end torque. The complication involves supporting modifications. Aggressive camshafts often require upgraded valve springs and ECU tuning. Camshaft changes constitute illegal tampering under emission control provisions. Trick number 5. The forced induction installation. Adding turbochargers or superchargers to naturally aspirated engines creates the most dramatic power increases possible. Forced induction compresses intake air, allowing burning significantly more fuel and generating massive power gains, often exceeding 100% increases. Turbocharger installations require fabricating exhaust manifolds, installing intercoolers, upgrading fuel systems, and reprogramming engine management. Supercharger installations mount directly to the intake manifold and are driven by serpentine belts. I completed a turbocharger installation on a customer's Miata. The naturally aspirated engine produced 155 horsepower. After turbocharger installation running 8 psi boost, output jumped to 285 horsepower. The risk involves comprehensive engine stress requiring upgraded internals for reliability. Forced induction installations violate emission standards comprehensively. Trick number 4. The launch control programming. Launch control systems manage clutch engagement and power delivery during standing starts, enabling maximum acceleration without wheel spin. Factory vehicles rarely include launch control or limit it severely. Aftermarket programming can add aggressive launch control to most vehicles. Execution requires ECU programming capability. Professional tuners create custom launch control strategies including launch, RPM, torque management curves, and traction control integration. A customer's modified WRX gained professional-level launch capability after programming. Quarter-mile times dropped from 13.8 seconds to 12.9 seconds purely from improved launches. The danger involves driveline component stress. Perfect launches create maximum mechanical stress on clutches and transmissions. Launch control programming alters factory safety systems, potentially violating motor vehicle safety standards. Trick number 3. The complete engine management system. Factory engine management prioritizes emissions and reliability over performance. Replacing factory computers with standalone programmable systems unlocks complete control over every engine parameter, enabling optimization impossible with factory programming. Standalone systems allow controlling fuel delivery, ignition timing, boost pressure, and every other parameter with precision. Installation requires complete wiring harness fabrication and extensive calibration time. I completed a standalone installation on a heavily modified Supra. After professional tuning, the engine produced 847 horsepower reliably on pump gasoline. The investment is substantial. Quality systems cost $2,000 to $5,000 before installation. Standalone engine management eliminates all emission controls and violates federal regulations comprehensively. Trick number 2. The transmission shift point. Modification. Automatic transmissions use programmed shift points prioritizing fuel economy over performance. Your transmission upshifts early to keep RPMs low, sacrificing acceleration. Performance tuning raises shift points significantly, keeping the engine in its power band longer. Modern transmissions allow shift point modification through ECU programming. Professional tuners access transmission control modules and modify shift tables directly. A customer's F-150 EcoBoost gained substantial performance after shift point tuning. Previously upshifting at 4,500 RPM, the transmission now held gears until 6,000 RPM. Quarter-mile times improved by 0.6 of a second. The concern involves transmission longevity since higher shift points increase mechanical stress. Shift point modifications violate emission tampering provisions. Trick number 1. The ECU reflash for racing fuel. Engine control units tuned specifically for racing fuel, like E85 ethanol or 100 plus octane, unleaded, creates massive power gains exceeding 30 to 50% increases, but makes vehicles completely non-compliant with emission standards. Racing fuels allow dramatically more aggressive tuning than pump gasoline. E85 has an octane rating around 105, enabling timing advance and boost levels impossible with 91 to 93 octane. The alcohol content provides internal cooling effects, reducing knock tendency. Turbocharged engines commonly see 40 to 60% power increases with proper E85 tuning. The fuel's properties enable boost levels that would destroy engines on pump gas. The technical requirements are extensive. Fuel system upgrades are mandatory since E85 requires 30 to 40% more fuel volume. Professional tuning is absolutely essential to prevent engine damage. You just learned 15 underground techniques that mechanics charge thousands to reveal. Each modification delivers measurable results and carries legal risks worth understanding. Now it's your turn. Which trick will you actually try? Drop your choice in the comments below. And if you want more forbidden automotive knowledge that dealerships don't want you knowing, smash that subscribe button right now.